In this video, I'm going to go ahead and be tearing down and refurbishing this hot pink Nintendo DSi. And the reason for it, because I got stickers all over pretty much. But the stickers you can do, at least on top half the case, without tearing it apart. But it's a little bit grimy and dirty, so I'm going to go and get all the buttons out of it, clean the rubber membranes, at least the carbon and the PCB board area and stuff like that on all the buttons. Go ahead and clean all the case and stuff and get all the residue off. It does work, however, so this is not going to be a repair video. And you can see it does power on. And if I do touch it, it does touch. So it is working, so there's nothing wrong with the console at least. But let me go ahead and power it off, and I'm going to go and get this thing torn apart. At least you'll be able to see the bottom half. I'm probably not going to do the top half because there's no need to, but I do want to get everything on the bottom done. So let me go and do that. So to get into one of these, you do remove the two captive screws on the battery cover and just lift the battery cover off. Once you do that, of course, remove the battery itself and just put it aside. There's going to be a screw in here. There's going to be a screw right here. Don't mess with these two. These are trim pots. Just only take the screw out of there. Screw there, there, and there. And then you just simply lift the case off, pretty much, being careful with the back ribbons, as you can see right there. And once you do that, then it just comes off. But like I said, just be careful with that ribbon cable right there. Don't, go ahead and rip it off very hard. And now we can get an inside view of what it is inside this, and you can see right there. So let me go and get a close-up shot. Let's go and see if we can focus in on some of this stuff. There you go, and it's fairly clean on the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect all these ribbon cables here, and I'll get the PCB board up once I'm back. So I went ahead and removed all the screws that's holding down both PCB board to the frame, and they are different sizes. The 5 screws over here go to this PCB board, and you just remove that one, that one, that one, that one, and this one right here. There is a ribbon cable on the shoulder button right there, so you do have to be careful with that when taking this board out. And then as far as this board goes, the 3 bigger screws go right there, right there, right there. And then there's one smaller screw, itty bitty screw, that goes right here. So you do have to remove that. Then you got to disconnect this cable, this cable. There's one small cable that goes there. There's one small cable that goes there. There's one that goes there. Then you have your Wi-Fi card, which is plugged in there. You just lift it up and that comes out. You can disconnect the cable right there, and then there's going to be one also coax cable that goes there too that you got to pull up and disconnect. And then you'll be able to gently lift the board. Now when you lift the board, lift it this way here, because there is a cable at that rear, as you can see right there, that you're going to have to disconnect. So I'm going to have to disconnect that, and I'll get this board completely out. So here's the underside of both the boards. Let's go with the big one first, and you can see right there. And then here's the side board right there too, as you can see, the sub board. So you go ahead and move that, and I'll show you under it too even. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And then there's your screen. Here's your buttons right there, which I'm going to completely move and clean out. And it's pretty straightforward. That's about it on this side. So I'm going to go and clean all the buttons and stuff later. There's no point in showing a video. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just clean the buttons, clean the inside around here and stuff like that and everything else. And then go and just put it back together pretty much the same way you took it apart. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Give this a very good cleaning. Get rid of the stickers on the other side. And I'll be right back once I'm done. Here's your digitizer assembly with LCD, and they are 2 separate pieces, so if you do happen to crack the digitizer but the LCD is separate, you can actually separate it because it's just held in with adhesive. And then here's the part number for the screen itself, and there you go. As you can see, went ahead and cleaned this up. And there's all the other parts and stuff like that. So I'm going to go and get this all the way back together, and I'll be right back once I get this back together somewhat. So went ahead and reassembled it and cleaned it all up. One of the things too that you do want to do is you do want to clean the cartridge pins and stuff like that too as well while you're in it. So I'm going to go and get the back cover on, and I'll be right back once I'm done. When you go ahead and push these flat flex cable, and make sure of course the latch is up, but one important thing, and I see a lot of people end up doing this, hold on, is make sure that these are all the way pushed against this plastic and not halfway out. Otherwise what happens when you power it on, you'll get where it flashes blue and turned off. And especially at the top LCD cable, these are very hard to push in, so just make sure you get it flat, that it's not of course up on the pin, otherwise you can damage the connector. And then just make sure you push it all the way in form until it stops, and then of course snap the connector back in there, and likely you'll have it working again. So let me go and finish putting the back cover on this. So went ahead and got the back cover on. For those that are looking to find a replacement battery, well, here's what the battery looks like, and it's a TWL003. You will need to replace it, obviously, if it's not holding much of a charge or if it's puffed out. So then there you go. So went ahead and finished refurbishing the hot pink Nintendo DSi. And as you can see, she is nice and clean now. So there's underneath of it, I do got a game card in there. This does have parental control on, so I do have to take that off. I'm not going to show you how to do it for obvious reasons. But there you go, you can see right there. It's nice and clean. That screen looks much better. So cleaned up nicely pretty much. I'll show you that it still works. And unfortunately, this does have parental control on it, so I do gotta take that off. But you can see there, touchscreen, everything works, so it is working. So I'm gonna go ahead, and the very next thing I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it off camera, is I'm just gonna go ahead and reset it, and it's ready for resale pretty much. But this is what I do when I refurbish game consoles. I go completely through it. I clean all the buttons. I make sure touchscreen, everything works. Get rid of as many scratches as possible. And depending on condition, is depending on if I decide to keep it or if I'm going to resell it or what price I'm going to resell it for. But saw how it was before, and this is how it is now. So this concludes the video. So now that I went ahead and entered the master key to get rid of parental control, I'm going to go and format this and initialize the console. And yes, go ahead and format. And there you go. Okay, so now it's going to shut down. Okay. Turn it back on. And there you go. So now it is ready. And here you go. And this is what it would look like inside there. And you can see there, the game card slot is working. I'll go and start up the game. And there you go. So this concludes the video.